laugh.
Okay.
You step, I step. Okay?
You step first.
We said you step, and you say welcome to blah blah.
You step first.
Okay, whatever.
Ah! So, today we are doing something different, yeah? We see chat asking the same questions over and over again. Why are you in a bunker? Why is it always raining? Who even are you guys? And we figured, maybe it's time to pause the schedule, give you the full story, and finally answer all these questions. So, welcome to this very special episode of the Valorant Bunker Podcast.
Yeah, we owe you guys this one. Because let's be real, if I was just a random listener, I would be just as confused. Why is there always thunder in the background? Why do we sound like we're recording from some abandoned sci-fi shelter? And most importantly, who are we? What's this group of people even doing together?
Ja, genau. So, let's go back to where it all began. 8 of us from different parts of the world, all coming together through Valorant. We've got Mino from Japan, Camila from Brazil, Hyejin from South Korea, Rupert from Italy, AC from the US, Lexi from England, Sera from Turkey, and me, Ewa, from Germany. A truly international disaster.
Yeah, and the funny part? We didn't even meet through some competitive Valorant team or esports event. Nah, we were just a bunch of randoms playing ranked together. Over time, we kept queuing up with each other, running it back after every loss, talking a lot in post-game Discord calls, and so on. At some point, we stopped just talking about the game and started talking about why we were all kinda bad at it.
Yeah, and listen, we weren't just blaming teammates or saying unlucky all the time. We were actually analyzing why we sucked. We know the importance of mechanics and game knowledge, and we were all aware that the more we play, the better we get. However, apart from myself, I'm just silver too. The other guys are all gold, plat, diamond. But anyway, more than mechanics, we were all showing deeper psychological impediments. We mainly had problems with excessive panic during gunfights, rage, tilt, and motivation. Our mental game, our bad habits, our tilt issues.
Yeah.
We would break down mistakes, discuss what made us rage, and figure out why some days we played like diamonds and others like, I don't even know, recon rank.
That's how it all started. Not just playing together, but coaching each other through our own failures. And I think that's what made this whole thing special.
Yeah.
We weren't trying to flex or pretend we were pros. We were just a group of people trying to understand why we couldn't improve.
Yeah, and then one day, Rupert and I had a cringe idea. What if we all met up in real life?
Eva literally messaged me like, we should meet in person. I want to yell at you all in real life.
Well, I did not say it exactly like that, but yeah, close enough. And since AC was the only one with a proper house and not just a tiny apartment, we figured, hey, let's all fly to Florida. 3 weeks of Valorant bootcamp, mental talks, and, you know, just existing together outside of a Discord call.
It was a dream plan until Hurricane Milton showed up and ruined everything.
Ja, genau. So we all arrive in Florida. We book this nice little office space to work in. We get settled into our hotel, and then, boom, Hurricane Milton. Category 4 storm, wind speeds over 130 miles per hour, roads getting flooded, power outages all over the place, and flights getting cancelled left and right. The entire area is put under emergency warning.
Yeah.
AC's house, evacuated. Our office space, shut down. So suddenly, we're all crammed into the hotel together, with nothing to do but sit and wait, while outside, trees are being ripped from the ground and streets turn into rivers. Leaving was not an option. We were stuck.
And we thought, okay, no problem, we just play Valorant at the hotel. But guess what? The internet bandwidth was garbage.
Yeah.
And so, imagine 8 nerds, full of energy, stuck in a hotel with no ranked games to play. It was a psychological experiment at that point.
Genau.
We hit the hotel gym. Yeah, no joke. 8 Valorant nerds, all suddenly trying to lift weights and run on treadmills just because they were too bored to do anything else. It was our version of staying sane.
Oh yeah, we were completely lost. But we were still talking about Valorant the majority of the time. So Rupert and I had another idea.
Yep, we were like, what if instead of just talking about this stuff privately, we actually record it like a podcast? You know, back then, the goal of the podcast wasn't even clear yet. What we did know was we didn't want to talk about mechanics or aim training or lineups. First, because there's already an overload of incredible content on that stuff.
Yeah.
YouTube, Reddit, you name it. And second, let's be honest, none of us were even remotely qualified to teach that.
Also, AC was against making anything that even smelled like a motivational podcast.
Yeah. I still remember him saying, nothing demotivates me more than those motivational commentary voiceovers on Diamond Smurfs, dropping 40 bombs in bronze lobbies just to farm views.
Yeah, he's not really suffering Smurfs.
Yeah.
Anyway, after long wondering about what the content should be based on, Lexi had a sort of epiphany. She goes, wait, why don't we simply take those long post-game conversations we always have in Discord and build a podcast out of them?
Exactly.
We would take all the reasons we mess up, rage, tilt, ego, Smurfs, cheaters, toxic teammates, and break each one down like a case study. Turn every emotion into a named chapter, a little dictionary of ranked feelings, so people could finally say, ah, that's what I felt.
Exactly. That was exactly the idea. Creating a sort of dictionary for ranked games emotions we regularly encounter as players.
Yeah.
Suddenly, each of us came up with tons of material, like too much. So we split into sort of groups. A psycho team covering topics like rage, tilt, and self-sabotage, basically anything mental. Then the ethics team, handling smurfing, cheating, boosting, all the behavioral stuff. And finally the performance team, focusing on teaming up with randoms, communication, stamina, and in-game energy drainers. All that.
We also decided that for some episodes, especially the psycho ones, we'd reference actual research, studies, academic papers. Not in some we're experts way, but just to support our own experiences, to show that our suffering is, at least, peer-reviewed. Once we had that content structure in place, we had to organize ourselves. Basically, every episode has a pair assigned. One person, the driver, is in charge of the deep dive research and topic exposition. The other, the navigator, guides, pokes, steers, makes the conversation move. Of course, some navigators take the job more seriously than others. Camilla, for example, thinks navigation just means throwing jokes and saying all Gucci every 5 minutes. But hey, it works.
Yeah. We even hook up a laptop to project a live stream so people can follow along and drop questions in real time. And if the questions get too hard, we just say the stream is lagging and move on.
Classic bunker move.
Punkt.
Ja, Punkt. And yeah, at this point, we were actually excited. We had a plan, we had topics, we had motivation, but one little problem remained.
The hotel was way too noisy to record in. I mean, we tried it once and you could hear vacuum cleaners, people yelling in the hallways.
Genau.
It was a mess.
And then the bunker happened.
It was the hotel gym supervisor who told us about it. Total joke, by the way. He was like, there's an old bunker nearby. Maybe you guys can record in there. And Zera and Mino actually went to check it out. As you can see from the Instagram pictures, by the way.
And yeah, it was creepy. Dark, echoey, like the start of a horror movie. But guess what? The audio was perfect. We tested it, played it back, and boom, we had our studio.
And that's it. That's how we got here. So next time someone asks, why the bunker? Or who even are you guys? Well, now you know.
Genau. Oh, there's something more to tell. I'm not sure if we already mentioned this in other episodes, but recently I had breakfast with one of the girls working in the hotel tailoring, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I explained our project, what it's about, and she found it really funny that we split ourselves into teams. And guess what? She suggested we should have team uniforms, like actual shirts for each team during recording, and she offered to help us make them. So guys, it might be that from the next episode, every team will have its own special shirt. I'm so hyped.
I mean, honestly, thanks to this hotel, our discomfort somehow turned into pure happiness.
Yeah.
Right now we are just writing.
Yeah, and meeting.
Well, I like it.
I don't, but okay. Anyway, I agree with you. This podcast gave us a sort of relief during this whole mess.
It's been the one constant, something to anchor us.
Yeah, something to scream at instead of the rain.
All right, folks, we know this episode was a bit different, and sorry for taking up a podcast slot just to tell our story. But honestly, we felt responsible for giving this explanation. It doesn't have to be some big mystery why we're stuck here. We want you all to be part of this journey with us.
To add on this, even though Milton will leave Florida soon and flights will be enabled again, we are now committed to finishing and delivering the first season of the podcast before leaving the bunker. We started this project together, and we are going to see it through, no matter what.
All right, let's check out some of the questions on the fly from the chat. I can see the chat scrolling and scrolling. Let me see. First up, from Mikey Walsh. Do you guys have enough food in the hotel?
Ja, genau. Thanks for worrying about us. But don't worry, food is not an issue.
Yeah, the area is technically out of service, but resupplies will come soon enough. Plus, the hotel is built for situations like this. We could stay here for months and we'd still have food and drinks. So don't worry, we are not out here rationing energy bars or anything.
If anything, I feel like we're eating more than usual because there's nothing else to do.
Facts. Next question from Chunk. It's understandable that this is all a lie. No way nerds attend the gym.
Ha, you exposed us. Truth is out.
Yeah, we actually deepfake all the Instagram gym pics.
Yeah.
None of us have ever lifted a dumbbell in our lives.
Yeah, but seriously. We went to the gym because it was the only thing to do in the hotel. It's a huge place, not like some small hotel fitness room with one treadmill. It's a fully equipped gym studio. You can see that. I mean, for those who follow us on Instagram, you saw it. So, yeah, we had no excuses.
And honestly, we all had some kind of gym experience in the past. Nothing crazy, but working out every day for the past week and a half has kind of reminded us how good it feels. Who knows? Maybe we'll actually keep this up when we leave.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably not. Next up, Data39 asks, how did you guys decide who covers which topics? How did the team assignments work?
Nice question. So basically it happened pretty naturally. More or less everyone gravitated toward the topics they were already passionate about.
Yeah.
Like AC, he was always ranting about cheaters, boosted players and all that stuff during our Discord calls. So it made sense for him to be in the quote-unquote ethics team.
Yeah, he was already doing hour-long monologues about Smurfs back then.
Yeah, exactly. Then you have people like Hejin and Sera, who love introspection and deep discussions. So they fit perfectly into the still quote-unquote psycho team.
And then there's Camila, who's a good mix of everything.
Yeah, and then Rupert, who's a good mix of nothing.
Appreciate you, sister.
I'm joking, of course.
Also, Lexi. Let's not forget about her.
Yeah, she's the real genius of the group. She's the one who stays silent during our tilted discussion in Discord. And when she speaks, everyone is like, yes, 100%.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Of course I was joking about you, Rupert.
Well, no, my role is actually more about moderating than being deep into one specific area. I just make sure conversations stay structured and balanced.
Yeah, of course. I do exactly the same. Thanks for the question. Data39.
All right, here's one from Brandon. Do you guys miss your parents?
Bruh.
Bro, it's been a week and a half.
Yeah, we are not lost at sea. We are just in a hotel.
Yeah, for most of us, this is pretty normal. We already work or live in different cities from our parents, so it's not like we're suddenly homesick. We can call and text whenever we want, and it's not a big deal. The only issue is waiting for the hurricane to pass so things can go back to normal.
Yeah, but of course, we don't want to minimize the situation. This is a real disaster for a lot of people.
Yeah, we're just lucky that for us, it's just an inconvenience.
Genau.
Okay, another one from Mikey Walsh again. Are you guys getting along with each other? Any intolerances? Well, to be really honest...
Warte! If you want this type of info, just follow our Instagram. Every IRL gossip lands there. Next question.
See, guys, she's like this with us all the time. All right, more questions. This one comes from Sloth22. How do you guys conduct your research?
Thanks for this question. And also, thanks for not asking if there are any crushes in the group yet.
Yeah, we appreciate that. So,
research.
There's a lot of content in each episode that comes from our own experiences. We've all dealt with tilt, bad teammates, or losing streaks. So a lot of our discussions are based on real situations we've been through.
But in almost every episode, we also try to validate our experiences with official studies on the topic.
Exactly.
This part is actually really fun, especially if you're passionate about, madness.
Yeah, because there's never just one explanation for a behavior. A blame shifter, for example, maybe they're just repressed and project their failures onto others. Or maybe they're a full-on narcissist who can't handle admitting mistakes. Or maybe something else entirely.
Ja, genau. So we take our personal experiences and then combine them with research to kind of build a structured profile of different problematic players. It's like psychology meets gaming, but with a lot more complaining.
Your question is actually important because it lets us clarify something again. Valorant Bunker Podcast is not truth written in stone.
Genau.
It's not official medical documentation. It's nothing more than the personal experience of a bunch of frustrated people.
Which is us.
Which is us. So when we do an episode called Throwers, what we're really saying is, here's everything we've noticed and reflected on about why someone might throw a match. And in our view, behaviors often come from personal pressure, yes, but also social pressure. So we take those observations, reflect, and then deliberately find studies that might fit the discussion. And from there, we'll just pick a small extract.
Yeah, just a small one. Otherwise, we're afraid our audience might fall asleep.
Exactly. But the point is, even if we reference an official paper, that doesn't mean we're presenting the correct path.
Genau.
Once again, everything you hear here is mostly a reflection of our pure experience. Plus...
our experience plus steroids.
Exactly, boss.
And speaking of the question we were trying to avoid, here it is. Mama Fratelli asks, are there any crushes in the group? Ja, natürlich. And that's actually the real reason we all got together.
Yeah, this entire podcast is just a cover for an underground dating experiment. Once again, catch us on Instagram for all the real life gossip.
Maybe OnlyFans, very soon.
Next one, from Mouth. Can I have the Riot ID of Camila?
Nein.
Yeah, no.
Try queuing in her MMR range and maybe you'll meet her. Good luck.
Alright, Steph21 asks, do you guys plan to do the same for other FPS games or is this just for Valorant?
Good one. So, Valorant is the game we play, and the content is really optimized with Valorant-specific stories, examples, scenarios, and all that. But at the same time, since we focus on the mental game, a lot of what we talk about applies to pretty much any competitive FPS out there. Actually, the book that helped us the most in working on our own mental game for Valorant isn't even about FPS games.
True, the book that inspired us the most is actually about poker, The Mental Game of Poker by Jared Tendler. It's an extraordinary book, especially when it talks about tilt and focus.
Yeah, and obviously, poker doesn't have things like smurfing and boosting.
Well, I mean...
Okay, not in the same way. But to answer your question, these mental profiles of players exist in every game. Whether it's CS2, R6, Apex, you'll still find ragers, tilters, blame shifters, and cheaters everywhere.
Yeah, so while we don't plan to switch games, the things we talk about absolutely apply beyond Valorant.
Yeah.
Alright, Eva, do we feel like continuing with questions?
I didn't even feel like starting with them.
Okay. But seriously, do we take another one?
9. I'm hungry.
Fair enough. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and as always, follow our Instagram, link in the description, for behind-the-scenes updates, IRL gossip, and maybe the long-awaited team uniforms. Catch you soon.